Namaste Guruji, Jai Guruji Sangatji. I bow my head at Guruji's lotus feet and thank him for holding us, for guiding our path when we didn't know where to go. Thank you, Guruji, for taking us out from that difficult time when there were no one for us. So thank you so much, Guruji, for everything. I heard from our old Sangat that Guruji used to say that I don't leave my devotee and I pick them up when they need me the most. So our time came in 2009. Though we knew about Guruji, but in a very vague thing that okay, there's a Guruji. That's all. We had never seen him in a swaroop or nothing. So our family friends they called us for his satsang in 2009 October. So my husband, my mother-in-law, we went for this satsang. So as I entered the hall, there was a fragrance all around. There was a beautiful decorated a stage, beautiful decorated Guruji Swaroop and his asan. So my first reaction was, wow, but didn't pay much attention as I was into Buddhism chanting and always thought that nothing is bigger than that. So we thought that we'll just sit there for some time and we'll move up, we'll go out. But Anil Hansraji was singing live and he was singing this Shabad, Guru Meri Puja, Guru Mera Parbraham, Guru Mera Bhagwant. Though I belong to a Sardar family, used to go to Gurdwaras, used to listen to Shabads, but this Shabad, it felt that it is gone through my body, each and every part of body. Still, didn't pay much attention as I was into chanting. So that chanting thing was in my mind. No, I'll be doing wrong if I'll be listening to this or if I'll follow Guruji. So I looked at my husband twice that let's go. But every time he said no, which was quite surprising and unusual because he's not a person that too in the evening to go for satsangs or any puja ceremony. But every time I looked at him, he said no. So after the satsang was over, we heard the satsang of Narang Uncle, Niru Aunty, Niru Segal Aunty, Indra Raj Uncle. So my husband was quite impressed. So we had langar there, and we got a very beautiful saroop of Guruji, the saroop which is at my back. We got a very beautiful saroop of Guruji on a very first day, and we came back. The moment we sat back in the car, my husband says, it is very important to have Guru in one's life. And I think the Guru I was looking for, this is the one. I said, how can you say that? We have just come here for the first time. I mean, it is just wait. I mean, you just can't say, no, this is a Guru. Let's wait. Anyway, we came back home. I kept the Swaroop in the lobby for some days. Morning, evening, I used to say good morning, good evening. But my mind was not prepared, not even my heart were prepared for this Guruji. So I just took that Swaroop and put it back in the Almirah. So it was 2009. In 2010, we had to go to Udaipur to drop my son. He got admission in a hotel management course in Udaipur. So we were supposed to go and drop him there. And while we were going there, our car met with a very bad accident. Car was total finished, but not even a single scratch on us. That time we didn't realize that Guruji has come in our life. His Swaroop is there in our house, which protected us from this accident. Then again, in 2010, one of my friend called me again for Guruji's satsang. So when I went for this satsang and I saw the Guruji Swaroop, I said, "Oh, this is the same Guruji. So maybe he only saved us from that very bad accident." And that time, my husband was going through a very bad phase of his life. He was into construction, and the client was really harassing him, and he was very upset. So, when I went for this satsang, I just prayed to Guruji, Guruji, so I am meeting you for the second time. And if you take my husband out of this problem, I'll come to your mandir. That time didn't realize, just keeping in front of it that, okay, if you do this, then only I'll come to mandir because connection was not there. Anyways, Guruji did his job. My husband was out of this deal, and everything went off smoothly. So we went to his mandir. That was 13 September 2010. I remember it as a 13, 9, 10. In Hindi, it's a Tera Na Das. So it was a beautiful day. We went to Guruji's mandir, had a chai prasad, samosa prasad, and I mean, there was such calmness, such peace there. Felt very happy. But still, I was into Buddhism, and I wanted to continue that. But after going to mandir, I start getting dreams of snakes, mostly yellow snakes. Then I got a dream that there's a Gohonzon where you sit in front of Gohonzon and do chanting. And that Gohonzon is in flames. So then I realized, oh, what is Guruji showing me? Maybe I have to leave this chanting. Until then, we were going to Mandir and started liking, really started liking it also. So then, September we went to Mandir first, and November, the friend who introduced us to Guruji, uh, they met us in the mandir and said, Guruji is telling me to tell you to have a satsang at home. I said, we don't know much about Guruji. How can we have satsang? He says, no, you don't worry. You just keep a date. We'll organize everything. So we had first Guruji satsang on 21st November 2010. And that was a changing point, I think, in my life when I started following Guruji because satsang was beautiful. Sangat came. It went up till 1:30, 2:30 at night. Then again, there was a fragrance in our house, the rose fragrance in our house for 10, 15 days, which was very beautiful. Then started going to Mandir, started liking it, started getting attracted towards Guruji. But my husband's already started going to Guruji, and he was already, I think he got connected with Guruji immediately. Then he got a chance to go to Dugri and Jalandhar Mandir in December 28 December to record the satsang of old Sangat. So he went to Dugri and Jalandhar with old Sangat to record their satsang. So he says in Jalandhar, he heard the satsang of Raghubir uncle, Rimple auntie, and many other old sangats, which realized later on that they were his medicine because on 31st December, he had seva in Mandir and his seva was in Jal Prasad, the way you serve water to the Sangat. And next day, he was down with a very, very high fever. So we immediately called up a family doctor who was not available at that time. He was not well. So we took him to some another doctor. So he gave him some medicines, some injections, but his fever wouldn't come down. So after 8 days, his fever went up to 104. He was puking, loose motions, and he was losing weight day by day. So that local doctor suggested us that we take him to the hospital. So we took my husband to the hospital again. They started with all the tests. I think they did every test, chikungunya, dengue, typhoid, every test they did, but all the reports were negative. But his health was deteriorating day by day. And in between, Sangat started coming to hospital to see him, and someone was bringing Jal Prasad. Someone would bring flowers from Mandir. So Sangat started coming to the hospital. Now, I think when he was in the hospital for 9 days, so I think after a week, one of his friend came to visit him, and with him he was there was one doctor with him who was a general physician. So he looked up at my husband. He says, "I think it's a drug-induced fever." So he just spoke to the doctors at the hospital, and he said, "I think it's a drug-induced fever. You just stop giving him the medicine. I think he will improve." But there was only one test left, which was colonoscopy. They said, no, we'll go ahead with this test also. So they did his colonoscopy, and the doctor who did his colonoscopy, he said, Chachra, Mr. Chachra, don't read between the lines. there was a tissue, a cancerous tissue uh, in your body, which we have taken out. Normally, we do this test 55 years of age or 60 age. But since you were here, so we just did this test. So don't read between the lines. There's nothing wrong, but we've just taken that tissue out and have sent it for the biopsy. So till now, till date, we have not got the report of that tissue. So then, when the doctor stopped giving him the drugs, his fever started coming down, and he was fine. He was hospital. He was in the hospital for 9 days. We got a message from a sangat, a very old sangat, that Guruji came in her dreams, and he said, "I have eradicated his 9 graha. They were very bad, so I have just taken those bad karmas from his life." So, anyways, we came back home, and it then Stanga started coming to our home. So whatever we were making at home for lunch, for dinner, we used to serve to Sangat as a langar. And in between, I think Guruji wanted our friends to get connected to him. So many of our friends, they started coming to look to see my husband, and they also got started going to Guruji. So on 26th January, we got a message that there's a satsang in Mallu Farms, and they invited us for that. So we took a flower seva, that we'll do a flower seva there. My husband could go because two people used to, hold him, and he could walk because he lost about 19 kgs of weight in those 18, 19 days. So he also went to this satsang, and there was again Raghubir uncle narrating his satsang of his father, that how Guruji said that he's really taking out some bad karmas from his life. And it was like this message is for us. We came back home, and then one day in the morning, it was, I think, in 28th or 29th January, my husband says, I want to eat something. So then I made idli for him and I gave it to him. He just had half idli and half. He said, okay, I can have half idli. And that very day, I got a call from a very old Sangat, and he said, Guruji came into his dream and he was sitting on your dining table, and he was having idli. He had half idli he gave it to your uncle, and he said, now go enjoy your life. Everything will be fine. And Sangatji, believe you me, that was the day my uncle started improving. The doctor told us that he won't be able to work for another 3 to 4 months because of his condition after losing so much of weight. But he was up and above in 2 to 3 weeks, started going to Mandir, started having his langar, and he was fine. But as a human being, always, he would always ask Guruji, what had happened to me? I mean, there was nothing came out from or any test, but what had happened to me? So one day we went for this satsang, and while we were taking leave agya from Guruji, so one auntie sitting there, he just looked at my uncle and said, Uncle, our Guruji used to change cancer into fever. And that time, my uncle looked at me, I looked at him, we looked at Guruji, and we got our answer that Guruji saved him from such a bad, bad disease. So thank you so much, Guruji, for taking care of us, sir. But Sangaji, here I would say the langar, the Guruji's prasad, you get it in the mandir, his simran, listening to shabads. That was I think, the main thing which, took my uncle out of this. As I narrate you, here's another satsang that will also show how important the langar is in our lives when we go to Guruji. So the here I'll just share my satsang because I was into Buddhism chanting. I just want to finish that. So when I got started getting dreams of yellow snakes and my gohanza in flames, I called the Buddhism chief and asked them to take my gohanzon back. And I was a little worried. You know, they will just tell me that you're creating a bad karmas for yourself. Why you're returning this? So I just prayed to Guruji. I said, Guruji, now I want to follow you. I want to come to you. I want to connect to you. Please take this back. So that leader who came to my house to take that Gohanzon, when she looked at Guruji's Swaroop, and she just said, oh. you go to Empire State Wale Guruji? I said, yes. Says, oh, even I went to him once. And he was very, I took flowers from him, and I was really impressed. And he blessed me and he said, you are a very nice girl. Keep on coming. Says, but my peace, my destination was Buddhism chanting. So I didn't go to him again. But you are going to a very beautiful place. Please keep going there. So then, thank you so much, Guruji. So I think that was the start of my beautiful journey called Guruji. After that, still connection, of course, my connection came up very late. So the next life he gave to my husband in 2000. This was in 2011. 2012 again. My husband got a very, very bad pain in the chest, in the stomach. So I took him to the doctor, our family doctor. He said he just gave him a Digene. He says, oh, you always have a upset stomach problem. Nothing. He'll be fine by evening. So it was Monday. After going to the doctor, we went to Mandir, Bada Mandir, and there we had a chai prasad and a samosa prasad. My husband said, though he was in pain, that I want to have one more samosa prasad. So Mali uncle was there. He gave him two samosa prasad to him and to me. He says, no, uncle, you have two samosa prasad. So after having the chai and a samosa prasad, we came back home and his pain started getting worse. He was writhing in pain by the evening. So I called up my doctor again. He says, oh, you take him to the hospital. So we took him to the Vedanta hospital, which was, I think, about 45 minutes from our place. And it was a rush hours. But I think with Guruji's grace, we could reach the hospital only in 15 minutes. We could not even have filled the form. My husband was taken into a procedure room. And doctor started his procedure. So this is what my husband told me later on, that while doing a procedure, he went into deep slumber, and in that slumber, he just saw Guruji in yellow chola, and he said, I said, Guruji, my kids are too small. I don't want to leave so early. I have so many work to do. So Guruji said, don't worry. I'm standing right beside you. So he said that was a time, and when I opened my eyes, it was hardly 2.5 minutes, and procedure was done. So doctor who performed the procedure, he said, Mr. Chachra, you have someone standing behind you. Otherwise, the condition you came, it was a very bad condition. He says, what happened, Dr. Sah? He said, during the procedure, your heartbeat fell to 20, and I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, some good sense prevailed. I placed a pacemaker and did my procedure. So you're fine now. So when my husband came out of the procedure room, there's a line of patient waiting for the procedure. He came into ICU. And before Sankaji, he got this heart problem. 2, 3 days before, he got a dream that there is some auntie Alka who's looking for him. He wants to give her something. Well, he wants to give him something. But he asked 2, 3 Sangha. This is, there's so many Alka aunties. We don't know which Alka auntie you're talking about. So when he was shifted to ICU room, so the attending doctor, a very young girl, her name was Alka. So, like Guruji showed him earlier also, that I have already arranged for arranged for a person who is going to look after you. Already, that there is someone who will look after you. So when the next day doctor came and he was doing his scanning and all, ultrasound, he says, what happened, Dr. Saab? He says, I was just looking. When you came, your heart was damaged up to 70%. Would the condition you came, your heart could have been damaged by 70-75%. But it's very surprising. It is showing only 40%. So now I'm sure with the medicine, with good diet, you'll be fine soon. So after 2, 3 days, my uncle came back home. And again, Sangha started coming to see him. And he developed a infection in his mouth. So there were blisters all over in his mouth. He couldn't eat anything. Then again, another Sangat called me and she said, I got a dream. And Guruji's asked you to take him to the Bade Mandir and let him have langar there. So I took my uncle to Mandir with great difficulty. He had one chapati prasad with little chutney and jal prasad. And next day he was 95 blisters were fine. So again, importance of langar, Sangaji, how important it is langar, Guruji's langar. It not only cures you of your health, your illness, it also eradicate any problems in your life. Maybe your health problem, may your financial problem, may your any relationship problem. Guruji is langar is divine. So again, he came back home and he was fine, started having his normal food, started going for his seva again. And when we used to, and in between, Guruji has, Guruji has put him in his langar seva. He used to do seva in langar hall. So started getting messages from Sangat that uncle has changed, Guruji has changed your uncle's heart. He's given him a new young heart. Don't worry, he'll be fine soon. And doctor said not to have samosa prasad, a full ghee, the full oil, any full oil food, but in langar and in mandir we were eating that only because that was his medicine. And you know what he used to do when he used to serve langar? Whatever used to, was on the floor. When my serving number, something, drop something on the floor. So he started having that langar also and saying that, Guruji, this is my medicine. This is my medicine. Then Guruji showed me a dream that whatever your uncle is eating from the whatever falls down, that langar, whatever he's eating from the floor, from the shelf, this is his medicine. And believe you me, Sangaji, he was fine in very soon he was fine. And when he went for his final checkup, doctor said, you are an excellent patient, Mr. Chachra, and you are doing so well. Your heart is young as a young child, as young as your child's heart. So again, thank you so much, Guruji, for looking after my uncle. Because Guruji says, first I give you life, then health, then the wealth comes. It comes in a package. This is what Guruji did with my uncle. He gave him not only one life, two life. I think 4, 5 lives he has given him to my uncle. So continue with his satsang. I'll narrate my daughter's wedding satsang later on because this was in between. This was my daughter's studies and wedding was also going in between. So then again, everything was going fine. We were going for Mandir for seva. Everything was okay. Then again, it was after COVID. We were coming back from a dinner one night, and our car again met with a very bad accident. Uh, it was a very bad accident, but both of us were saved. And obviously, we had some internal checkups and all because it was a bad accident. We were okay. So, but after the accident, after the 2 days of accident, my husband started getting pain again in the chest. So he says, no, it's a muscular pain. It's a muscular pain because I think the impact was such. But again, it was Monday. I think after 1 week of accident, he he started getting severe pain in the chest. So again, my son took me to the hospital, and it cannot be a coincidence. The doctor who performed his earlier operation, he was there and in the emergency area. And again, he looked and he says, "Oh, what happened?" He says, "No, this is like we met with an accident. This is I got a chest in the pain in the chest. Okay, let's do her." They did his uh, everything and did cat's heart of CAT scanning. And then he says the reports will come in the morning, but I think I don't see anything. I hope everything is okay. So next day, we got a call from a hospital that you come to the hospital. So we went to the hospital, and the doctor says, now I think the stunts we put at 10 years back, there's a calcification around the stunts. We'll have to do a ballooning, and we have to take that calcium, that things from your heart. So again, he says, okay. So he gave us a date. But in between, after 2 days, we went to the hospital and we had this procedure done again. The doctor could not open there were two stunts. Doctor could open only one artery, that too to the 90%. But when he was doing the second procedure, his artery got, scratched. And doctor stopped the procedure. He said, I cannot move further because your artery is crashed. It could be a it could take a bad shape. So he says, no worries. You just take the medicine and maybe the second artery will open in a month's time. So we came back home, and after we came back home and then again just went to Mandir to do Shukrana to Guruji. And when we came back from the Mandir, my husband again developed a very, very bad pain here in his stomach. Now, again called up my son that we have to take him to the hospital. So we took him to the hospital again, came to know there were stones in his kidney. So just imagine, just see a Sangaji, one accident, got to know he's got a calcification in his stunts, he got stomachs, he got stones in his kidney, and Guruji cured everything. So now, after 1 month, there was another procedure, but my husband, he says he just started praying to Guruji. Guruji, I don't want to go for this second procedure. It is very difficult and very inconvenient. I cannot keep my leg straight for so many hours. So please, I will take my medicine religiously. And in between, one Sangat, she made a medicine at home and gave it to my uncle to drink it every day. I will take my medicine regularly. Please, you have to see. I don't want to go for the second procedure. So again, it was after 1 month. I was not here. My daughter was. I had gone to my doctor because she was about to deliver a baby. So my son was here, and he took him to the hospital for the procedure. So when he went for this procedure, after 10-15 minutes, doctor didn't do anything. He asked, "What happened, Doctor Sir?" He said, "I don't know. The second stunt, the second artery, which was scratched, that is already open to 80%. I'm not performing any procedure. I think rest of it will also open with the medicine. So no procedure, you can go back home." So this is Guruji. He kept praying to Guruji, Guruji, I don't want to go for procedure. This is very inconvenient. Guruji made sure. So thank you so much, Guruji, giving again a life to my uncle. So, but I think his health karmas were really bad. Guruji is eradicating his health karmas. So in another, after 2 years, he was sitting in again, he developed a stomach problem and a very bad stomach ache. We took him to the doctor. He says, oh, he just prescribed some test and all. And he says, you are in a very bad shape. I think you should get admitted to the hospital. We said, no, we'll just see for one more night. Intravenous injection, we can just give him at home. But it didn't work. We had to take him to the hospital next morning. And whatever test he had prescribed, amlas and some, this was to do with the pancreas. So when the test report came, so doctor said it is a pancreatic attack and it is very severe. Pain is very bad, unbearable pain. So you'll have to get admitted to the hospital, and there is no other way. So again, he was admitted to the hospital. For 7 days, again, he was in the hospital, writhing in pain, but only one word, Shukrana, Guruji. He says, I don't know, Guruji, what bad karams I have done maybe in the past life, which you are just taking them out from my life this in my this life. So thank you, Guruji, for everything. And I was just looking at his fame. I mean, you are writhing in a pain. How can you say thank you, Guruji? I said, no, these are my bad karmas, which only I have to suffer. So Sangaji, believe you me, 7 days in the hospital. Then again, Sangat started coming to hospital, and there even the staff was connected to Guruji. And as I felt as if Guruji is there only. And while he was in the hospital, I got a call from a very good friend of mine. She didn't know, so I told him that he's in the hospital like this. She says, okay. Then another 5 minutes, she calls up again. Kehti, this cannot be a coincidence. You know, I met a old Sangat yesterday and she was talking about this only. She said, Guruji used to say, doctor can cure any disease in this world, but not pancreas. This is in God's hand. If He wants, He can cure your pancreas. Otherwise, no one else can cure it. He says, so start praying to Guruji about his health and tell him to put his hand on his pancreas. Started praying to Guruji, and with Guruji's grace, he was fine, came back home, and now Guruji is telling me to have a satsang to thank him. And I was thinking, okay, Guruji, I'll do a satsang. I'll call 4, 5 aunties and I will do a satsang. And Guruji is telling me, I have given a life to your husband and I want you to do a bigger satsang, not with the 4, 5 aunties. So, of course, we had a satsang. And the day, it cannot be coincidence against Sangatji. The day we had satsang at home, I get a call from an auntie ki just there's some satsang going on Zoom, and Guruji is telling me to tell you to listen to that satsang. I opened that Zoom satsang, and when I listened to that satsang, it was again about the pancreas. Auntie is telling that Guruji used to say, pancreas is only one thing which I can only cure. No doctor can cure it. So Shukrana, thank you so much, Guruji, for giving him another life. And then not, you know, after this I went to US and this I was sharing his this satsang when auntie comes up to me. He says, Auntie, you should thank Guruji. You know, one of my friend's husband, he also got this attack and he could not survive it. So you should be thankful to Guruji. Do enough Shukrana to Guruji. I said, I'm doing that. I know he has been giving to life to my husband. So thank you so much, Guruji, for everything you have given life to my husband and health, of course, you are giving him. So this was my husband's satsang Sangaji. I'll quickly share my daughter's satsang also because this is very close to my heart. So when my husband was in the hospital, he had this very bad this cardiac arrest, heart attack. So that time she was planning to go to US for further studies, and she had passed out from architecture college, and she did very well there. In fact, she wanted to top that college, but her thesis did not go well. But again, Guruji came in one of Uncle's dream, and he said that uncle called me and he said, Guruji, came in my dream and he gave me one piece of paper. And in that paper, it was written, gold medal recommended to Ankita Chachra. Ankita is my daughter's name, Sangaji. So, but I said, uncle, but her thesis went off very bad. She says, no, Guruji has written this gold medal, so she will get a gold medal. And believe you me, Sangaji, she got three gold medals in fifth year. Not only she topped her thesis, she topped her college, she topped her subjects. So thank you, Guruji. Now she wanted to pursue her master's in Columbia University, New York. And with Guruji's grace, she could go there, though our finances were very bad. And but Guruji made sure we could send her to we could send her to New York for masters, and she did very well there. Again, we went for the convocation, and everyone was getting some or other prizes. So I just prayed to God. I said, Ankita is not getting any award or something. And the next name they announced was Ankita. She got again a best thesis in that architecture course in master's course in Columbia. So not only this, Sangaji, when she was in New York, Guruji looked after her so beautifully. Whenever I used to miss her or she used to miss her, she used to miss us. I prayed to Guruji. I said, Guruji, I'm missing her. Please go to her. Just love her. Just pat her head. And the Sangaji, the very next day, I would get a call from her. Mom, Guruji came in my dream. You came in my dream. And we had a dog. He came in my dream. So you were all were there with me. So Guruji's way of telling me that I'm there looking after her. So again, now she passed her master's from Columbia. She wanted to stay there, work there, though her H1 visa did not come, but she came back to India but she wanted to do a job in New York only. Again, she went back. And in between, there was this boy in her batch. They started dating each other. And here I am praying to Guruji. Guruji, now she's done her architecture. She wants to stay there only. So now this is the age I want her to get married, so that at least I am not worried about her. So Guruji showed me a dream. There's a beautiful satsang going on. Guruji sitting on an asan. He calls me. I go there, bow my head. He just gets up from his asan, looks at me, and he say and looks at me, smiles, and just do this and goes away. So I said, why did Guruji do this? So I looked at that direction. There was another beautiful small asan and a very handsome looking boy sitting there. So I thought maybe the satsang, the place where I have come, even she has a daughter. Maybe Guruji is showing this boy for her daughter. She's also looking for a match for her daughter. Anyways, but that boy was for us. Got a call from Ankita that uh, they are dating each other, and if you permit, we want to get married. But before that, uh, Ryan wants to see you. He wants to come to India. So he came to India. In between, Guruji came in my dream and asked me, "What do you want?" So I always used to tell him, "Guruji, I want a Punjabi boy." So he used to smile and go. But Guruji has given us a beautiful, beautiful boy, which I couldn't have find here in India. He's given us a excellent boy, and then we agreed, his parents came, his friends came for the wedding. Then wedding was again a challenge because that time our finances were really bad. We didn't know what to do. But with Guruji's grace, some mutual funds which we had forgotten, got those mutual funds. My parents and Guruji Sangat, they all helped us. And it was a dream wedding, which Sangat used to tell me. It was a dream wedding. My friends getting started dream that it's a beautiful wedding. Guruji is himself doing everything. And whatever I wanted to do, I all could do in that wedding. The one thing, when before this wedding, we met with another accident where my uncle broke his wrist, and he was admitted to Fortis Hospital. When I used to go there, I could see Taj Vivanta 5-star hotel from there. And somehow it used to come in my mind, Guruji, whenever I have money, I want to do your satsang here. Then I get a dream ki Guruji says, your daughter's wedding satsang will be, you will do it here. So when I told my husband, he says, how can we do that? We don't have much money, we don't have any enough funds for the wedding. How can we do a satsang in a 5-star hotel? But Guruji made this also happen with his grace, with Sangat's cooperation, and of course the person who was the head of that Vivanta. We could do this satsang in Taj Vivanta. And now, if I look back, I don't know how we did that, but it is all Guruji. You know, when all was this going on, I used to say to Guruji, I said, Guruji, when I hear your Shabad, that Puneet Khurana Shabad, Tera Shukar Kara Guruji, I know you are there, you are looking after us, but somehow I cannot say Shukrana from my heart. There's so much going in our lives. Uncle's health, finances are very bad. I mean, how can I do Shukrana? But with Guruji's grace and with my daughter's wedding, Guruji taught me how to do Shukrana, how to pray gratitude to your Guru. And that was a time, I think, that was after my daughter's wedding. That was the time I really, really got connected to Guruji spiritually, mentally, with everything. So now I feel that small word of Shukrana is also very less for Guruji. So thank you, Guruji, for everything. Not only my daughter, he looked after my son also. He was a very naughty boy. He saved him from 2, 3 accident. So he was like, he used to come late at night. So one day I just went and just stood in front of Guruji's Swaroop and said, Guruji, he's not my son, Guruji. He is your son. I don't sleep, he comes late, and he's not in my control. Now you look after him. And believe you, Sangatji, believe you me, that day and today, I I don't worry for him. Guruji is really taking care of him. He is like well settled, married in his life. Now he sits in his car. The first music comes is Guruji's Shabad. So thank you, Guruji, for everything. And I know you are there still taking care of us, and again, it's holding our hands in difficult times. Be there with us, Guruji. Thank you so much, Guruji. Thank you so much, Sangatji. I apologize for any mistakes I did during my satsang. Jai Guruji.